Welcome to the Lemons and Pineapples podcast, the personal development podcast for folks who want more fulfillment, connection, purpose, and joy in life. I'm your host, Emma O'Brien, a no-nonsense coach, a seasoned entrepreneur, photographer, rescue dog mum, and happy life enthusiast. Each week on the podcast, I share tools, tips, and strategies, amazing guest interviews, and uplifting conversations that will help you improve all areas of your life. Let's dive in. Hi, folks. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 3 of the Lemons and Pineapples podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about why getting lost in midlife can be the first step in actually finding yourself. If you are over 40, you can probably relate to that feeling of, is this it in my life? And the feeling of, is this what I want to be doing for the rest of my life? I know from my own perspective, this has been a time where I've been questioning a lot of things. I've been questioning my choices that have brought me to here. Do I want to keep making the same choices? What do I want to be doing? And actually the prospect of being more on purpose and being more fulfilled in my life is more important to me than a lot of things like how much money can I make? And there were questions and focuses that were really important to me sort of 10 years ago. And it's something I see really often as well with the clients that I coach. So I work primarily with women, and I work with women who are in this kind of midlife phase that I'm also going through. And it's something that comes up again and again and again. And especially for women who were raised a family and have kind of got to mid 40s and gone, I've lost myself entirely here. I've lost myself totally. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't have anything really that's for me. I've placed so much of my focus on my family and my husband and my children. I've forgotten who I am. And then what tends to follow that is, and I feel very angry about it because everyone else has also forgotten who I am, because women have been societally conditioned to put everybody else first. And I think it's really telling that when you have if you have women who don't have children and women who are very ambitious and who put themselves ahead of everybody else, they're labeled as selfish. Because we like women who are nurturing, and we like women who are looking after everybody else, because that's been the traditional role that we have been in. And I think especially now, so many people are just not wanting to be in that role anymore. I know it's certainly the clients I work with are going, I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me anymore. And I want to create something that's mine. So I'll help clients who decide they want to start a business doing something. They want to, strike out on their own. They want to leave a relationship, and they actually just want to start creating life on their own terms. And it can be quite scary. And there are a few reasons I think this happens in midlife, especially for women. And one of them is our hormones are shifting and changing now in this midlife phase. I know I certainly can relate to being smack bang in the middle of perimenopause. It's really annoying. But it's a reality. Life is cyclical. This is a middle of life natural cycle, and it's a time of self-reflection and introspection, and it's a time to start to listen to what's happening internally. The hormone shift plays a big role in this no longer tolerating having your needs put last and no longer tolerating being able to put everybody first. When we're in our 30s and we're in that kind of reproductive phase, the priority is often family stuff and looking after everybody, and you have the energy and the balanced hormones to be able to work full time, look after everybody else. It's all good and you can hold it all together. And as those perimenopausal hormones start to shift, there isn't the emotional and physical and mental capacity anymore to keep it all together, and the cracks will start to appear. I have days now in my cycle where I'll have a headache all day, I'll feel nauseous, I don't have much energy. And if you were to say to me to throw in some young children now, there's no way I would cope without shouting at people and without support. I wouldn't be able to cope with it. I'd have been able to cope with it 10 years ago because I didn't have to, I wasn't fighting with the freaking hormonal headache that arrived. So the hormonal shifts start to expose our weaknesses and they start to reduce our capacity to be able to really cope with all the things that we used to be able to cope with all the time. It's this natural cycle. And when we start to listen to it, we can stand up and we can say, I actually can't hold all of this together anymore. I don't want to hold all of this together anymore. But it can feel like we're losing ourselves and we're getting lost because I used to be able to cope with this and now I can't. I used to enjoy doing this and now I don't. And rather than fighting it, this is an invitation to really start to listen to it. What are these shifts and changes telling me about myself? What do I need that's different now? And how can I get support and help with that? And am I getting support and help from the environment I'm in? And if I'm not, and I don't want to be here anymore, where do I need to go? And sometimes it can feel like really breaking everything apart because there's so much of a change happening. I think the other thing that happens in midlife, and this is applicable for men and women as well, is you get to 40, 45, 50, and you go, huh, my youth is done, my child rearing years are done. I'm probably more than halfway through my life. Do I still want to keep doing what I've always done? Does it make me happy? Has it made me happy? Do I want to do something else with the precious time I've got left? And I think often the being faced with our own mortality can start to make us face up to there are things I'm doing that don't work for me. There are relationships, situations, work scenarios I'm in that I just don't want to do anymore because if I died in 5 years' time, I know I will have wasted my life if I stay here. And I think it's being faced with that, with our own mortality, is actually a wonderful gift because it makes you sit up and go, right, I've got this one wild and precious life. What do I want to be doing with it? And if it isn't this, what is it? And how do I make that happen? And of course, it's easier said than done because change is something that's hard. It's something I have navigated through in my own life multiple times, and it's something I work with coaching clients to help them navigate through some big life transitions and just some little changes of well, I'm not starting a business isn't a little change, but incremental positive changes, as well as things like navigating divorce, navigating relocating, navigating all of the things that come from relatively seismic changes. And it's quite hard navigating through the liminal space between the old identity that you've woken up and gone, nope, this isn't for me anymore, and getting to the new identity. And we have to navigate the journey in between, which is it's tough. It's hard. I've been talking a lot in I've got a kind of sidebar vlog that I've started called Wild Wisdom, where I talk about more of my shamanic work. And I talked in the latest one about tapping snake medicine and how we can start to have a look to snakes for our learnings in navigating change. And snakes repeatedly over the course of their lives on a regular basis shed their skins. The whole thing comes off and they emerge new and fresh and off they go again until it's time to shed again. And they shed every time they've outgrown the skin that they're in. And we as humans tend to fight doing that because we think everything should stay the same all the time. The relationship and the marriage should be fine the whole time. It was fine 3 years ago, but it's not fine for me anymore. I don't want this anymore. And it's really difficult navigating the changing of our own inner dynamic and our inner world as we have to shed our old identity to move forwards and change. And that liminal space in between is quite difficult it's difficult to navigate that on your own. It's why I exist as a coach, because I help my clients to guide them through navigating that difficult space in between. If we come back to the snake analogy, before a snake sheds, before its skin comes off and it comes out all fresh and sparkly and new, it stops. It goes into a period for about a week where its old skin loosens, but the old skin loosening means the scales over its eyes also have to adjust and loosen, and it means it can't see very well. It's irritable. It's very vulnerable. It's very unhappy. And that's the same phase we go through before we move to another identity. But if we can let go of the stories we tell ourselves about shedding, this is so hard, this is so difficult, I can't do this, what if it doesn't work, and all of the things that keep us stuck, if we can let go of that, it's much easier to shed and move ourselves forwards. So I invite you, if this resonates and you're in midlife and you're going, God, I feel really lost. I know I want something else, but I'm not quite sure if I can have it, not quite sure what I want to do with it. If this resonates for you, I'll invite you to check out my Ending an Era workshop. The link is in the show notes here, where I guide you through the process of shedding the old stories and identities so you can create a new. This is a pivotal time in life, this midlife period. It's scary. It's difficult, but it's really exciting because this is an opportunity to kind of go again. I think I shared in one of the other podcasts. I hit 45 and I go, well, if I live to be 90, which would be amazing, I've got another 45 years to go. What am I going to do with that? I've had one lifetime. Effectively, I've got a second one now. So what am I going to do differently to make sure I enjoy it and really enjoy the process and be present and steer my life consciously so I don't get to 90 and go, God, I really wish I'd done a whole load of things differently because I thought I had plenty of time or I didn't think I could change. If we can get out of our heads and all of the stories we tell ourselves that keep ourselves stuck, we can start to move forwards and we can change the cycle. And this period, so if you're feeling lost and you're thinking, God, I'm not happy anymore and I used to be and I don't want to be unhappy, what is that really about? What is that unhappiness trying to tell you? What is this midlife? We often call it a midlife crisis, but I think really it's a midlife awakening. It's a reckoning, really. It's a reckoning of actually there's lots of things not working for me. What am I going to do about it? And the choice is yours and it sits with you. So have a look at the workshop. It'll be really, really powerful if this is a transition you're going through. And of course, if I can assist you, you're welcome to reach out to me and we can hop on a quick call and talk about how you might be guided through this transition so it's a little smoother and a little easier for you. Thank you for joining me. I will see you same time next week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please leave me a 5-star rating and a review, and make sure you share this episode with a friend who you know will also enjoy it. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Please drop me a DM and say hi at Emma O'Brien Coach. And for more information about coaching with me, please head to my website, which is emmaobrien.coach.com.